announcement. That's why we didn't play the video. We have Reality 7 on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Please join us. They will be here and we'll be interviewing them. They will be talking about their journey as gospel singers. They are from South Africa. They are big, all South Africans, African, those who love gospel music, and European, wherever you may be. If you love gospel music, these guys, they are amazing. They'll be here and they'll be talking about how they are serving the community. They'll be talking about how God is using them to actually change people's lives. So please join us. We'll have Reality 7 on Wednesday, 1 p.m. UK time. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Tamia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Tamia Dow, and I'm coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am so happy to be here today. I am one of the managers of the Nkositalkshows, and I am really looking forward to Reality 7 being on. I help people tell their story. I do it by coaching for book writing and also by making films. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tamia. Over to you. Kamal, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Nomsa, and thank you, Tamia. Welcome to everybody listening and watching us. My name is Kamal Ema. I am the head of coaches with Nkositalkshows. I am also a certified NLP trainer, master practitioner, hypnotherapist, and a certified life purpose coach. I find joy and happiness in helping people uncover their purposes in life, whatever they may be, by the usage of ancient Egyptian methodology and NLP, obviously, and we mash all of that together, all of that knowledge, we put it in a nice salad and we bring it in the modern world to help you be a better person for your future. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamal. So our topic today is the power of silence. Why successful people are successful. Please, I'm going to start with you, Kamal. Over to you.
Why people are successful? All right. First, let me start by defining success. Success for everybody is very different. Some people find their success and purpose in family, others in their career, others in teaching their children crafts and other things. So success can be divided into very different things. Now, if we talk about career success, we're talking about specific habits and discipline that these people have created in their everyday life to push them forward. They had the motivation to start something, they had the motivation and the willpower to become somebody for themselves, for their family, for the world, whoever that successful person is. Sometimes there's a streak of luck where they get found and then they express themselves, for instance, in acting or in singing. Other times, it requires actually hard work. There is no one single successful person that would tell you being successful is easy. It takes dedication and hard work, discipline, habits. Most of the successful people, they have a routine in the morning and they wake up between 4 to 7 o'clock in the morning. Some of them meditate, read, go for runs, right? There is a specific routine to that because you incorporate that healthy habit into your physiological everyday movements to allow your brain to function at a higher level. So this is the first thing that happens with successful people. And I'm pretty sure Tamia has the same thing. Clara, I know she wakes, Nomsa, you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that. I'm also one of these people that wakes up between 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning. And this is how you create your success. Success is out there. You just need to take the original and the first steps of your habit, everyday habits, tiny habits, lead you into that direction.
Thank you so much. Kamal, do you have anything you would like to add, Tamia, from what Kamal has just said?
I find the morning rituals, the way you begin your day, to be very important. Just as Kamal mentioned, it sets the tone for the day. It also sets the tone for your body to know what you want it to do for the day. So my thought process is, I know we're speaking of the silence and how success happens. And usually part of many people's morning ritual is to do some type of meditation or prayer, which actually is a way of silencing yourself, kind of, what do you call it? Making yourself be still and be present at the beginning of your day to enable you to be able to have a more successful day, have a better focus on what you desire to happen for the day. And your body follows that. You know, your body listens to the instructions that you give it. I find the analogy of you being the captain of your own ship. So your mind, your attitude, your directions, the way you speak to yourself is you as the captain of your ship. So if you in the morning silence yourself and focus yourself on what your goal is for your successful day, because I like Kamal said, you know, success for someone is different from another person. And success may be, let's say someone is dealing with pain or some issues of that are challenging them, and just getting through the day and being able to, you know, remain positive and remain productive during the course of the day could be what is constituted for them a successful day. So it will be different for all of us. But I do believe that the morning ritual is what sets the tone for your entire day and directs your body on what it is that you desire to happen in that day.
So much. Thank you so much, Tamia. It is very, very important to have a daily ritual, so you can have your silent time, like what Kamal was saying. It's very, very important to actually plan your day, to get up and have make a plan. By the time I get up at 4 because of you guys, by the time everyone gets up, you have planned everything. So for me, basically, by the time these guys, they get up at 8, I've done everything on my computer. I've done some work, and I've made a plan for my day, which is really good. So what I need to ask Kamal, why being quiet is so powerful? Because Tamia was just saying, when you do your daily ritual, you connect to yourself, and you just you need that quiet time where you have to plan everything. Why is it being quiet is powerful?
Silence is golden. All right. Yeah, so as I was saying, silence is golden, right? That means that silence is a moment of reflection, like Tamia was saying. Whether you sit down and reflect with the universe, with God, with whatever you may believe in, even if it's in yourself, this allows you that mindfulness time that a lot of people don't have during their everyday routine and their everyday hectic lives, which I actually don't believe it's a hectic life, but we'll come to that another time. The idea behind that silence is to get inside yourself and analyze your life, analyze your dreams, understand how they are shaped. It helps with problem solving. There's a reason why the monks and all these people that meditate, they can manage to meditate for hours long, and after they do that, they can go on to achieving great things, whatever the exploits, whatever the achievements that they're doing. Imagine taking a spear into your throat and pushing it until it breaks. This requires a load of meditation. It's not only the muscle that you're shaping, but because the spear is right here, like it will go through. The idea is not that. The idea is meditation, is concentrating all of your energy. We are a bundle of energy. We're not just flesh and bone and water. We are a bundle of energy, and each one of us exerts that energy. This is part of my teaching when it comes to students in karate. If your energy is not aligned with yourself, how are you going to be able to process the thoughts, to understand where you want to go based on what you have right now? you have certain skills, you are talented in a certain way, but all of that has to come together. And you need that silence. Think of a lot of the writers that want to start writing a book, or when they have a writer's block, what do? They go almost in exile, in the mountain, in a cabin by the sea, where there is no human contact. Why? Because they need that silence. You need to get off the grid, and not only the grid, the electronical grid, but the grid of people. There's a flow of energy that goes every single day, every time you meet a person. And if that person is not aligned with your energy, whether I'm talking about low energy contra yours, you pick up these energies and they stack up onto you. So you need that time to silence your mind, to silence your energy, in order for you to recuperate all of that power that you have within you and create an even greater power and energy that surrounds you, that protects you, that helps you move forward. And this is also one of the teachings of actual prayers. Whether it's God, whatever religion you may be, whatever universe, it's all up to you. But prayer actually helps you re-energize your body. The movements of the prayers, the words that you tell yourself, all of that helps you re-energize and build all of that strength that you can create inside your mind and outside of your body to help you move forward. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you, Kamala. I'm so excited. We are live on Instagram as well. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'll just check. So it worked. We are live on Instagram. Hopefully it works. So thank you so much. So Tamia, I wanted to ask you, Kamal mentioned that if your energy is not aligned with you, so how can you make sure that your energy is aligned with you? Is there anything that you can do? Because there might be somebody audience that is watching right now and they're like, I don't know how to actually work on my energy to make sure that is aligned with what I need to do with my character, with my personality, and the image that I want to be. So any advice you can give them, please?
Well, the main thing is we are all energy. We literally are energy. And I don't want to be morbid, but my background is law enforcement. And whenever I would respond to a dead body call, lack of a better word, dead body call, someone who was deceased, what I always noticed was the lack of energy within that person. So the energy, people may call it spirit, the person's soul, was gone. It had departed from that vessel, that shell of a person that we all wear on the outside. I've heard the term meat suit before, which is very kind of sad sounding, but think about it. We are energy, we are spirit. And when our spirit leaves this earth, when we breathe our last breath and the vessel is no longer able to maintain us, and we leave to go wherever you believe you go, I believe you're going to have to go and go to heaven and answer for these things you did or did not do in this world that you knew you should have done or did not or not do. But anyways, that is what I see as energy. So how do you realign your energy? Very similar to what Kamal was sharing with the earlier. I said the meditation. He talked about prayer. This helps to align your body. This helps to align you with the way I believe in my belief system between you and God, right? So you are spirit here on this earth interacting with other spirits that are also within meat suits, okay? So in their vessels, their earthly vessels, they can also be out of alignment. So how do you align yourself and stay away from people who are spiritually, energically out of alignment with you? Is you have to be very strong in your own energy, your own spirit, your own character. And let me talk about that. So as you, even when you meditate or as you pray or as you sit in silence, because I encourage the sit in silence thing often, not sleeping, but sitting in silence and actually intaking, because for me, I know in the Bible, it tells us to be still and know that I am God. In that stillness, we are to be silent. We are to be quiet. We are to be listening to hear from, in our belief system, we call it the Holy Spirit, to direct us and to guide us. And also it is a way for us to each morning reset ourselves, to make sure we are in alignment with the positive energy, the positiveness of our spirit that is within us. And let me tell you a little bit more about that. When you hear somebody say it just grieved my spirit, it grieved my soul, you'll hear people in pain and just so upset. Maybe they lost someone, maybe they broke up, just so many things could grieve, maybe someone was very cruel to them, and it just like, it just gets you here inside your core. Other people will be like, oh, you should just blow. No, you don't blow it off. It's messed with the alignment of the energy in your body because someone brought negative energy into your life, and you have to remove it. You have to go silent and pray and meditate to realign the spirit within you, the energy within you. See, I've heard so often that term of energy. Energy is everything. I believe that. I really do. As a presenter and a speaker, I feel the energy of the audience, the energy of the people who come up to talk to me afterwards, even all of us as coaches, we feel the energy of our clients when they talk to us, and oftentimes when they first come to us, they might be downcast and really not clear. And we help them to build their energy back up so that when their energy is strong, they're giving off positive vibrations into the world, which attract positive vibrations, but also understand that negative will also attempt to enter or introduce itself into your positive realm. And you have to be wise as a dove and decide who you bring in, who you allow in your inner circle. As speakers and presenters, and we go out, our energy goes out, but we can also be mindful of what comes in. So it's so important that we make sure to stay in proper spiritual alignment and keep our energy up, that we only are around people who are at our energy level. And Kamal spoke about this. If you surround yourself with negativity, it's gonna drain you. It's designed to drain you. So you have to pick the environment, because unfortunately, environment is stronger than willpower. So if you surround yourself with negativity constantly and never actually walk that success path because you're discouraged by the negativity, then you won't reach the level you need to be at. And regardless of how many times you recharge in the morning, if you run into a pit of negativity and are surrounded by a pit of negativity, it's designed to drain you. And then by the end of the day, those desires that I was going to write, I was going to go back home and write tonight, I was going to go back home and create something, I was going to go back home and do, something that you really desire to do, you're drained. Your energy is drained. And then you can't do it until you recharge. And now when you recharge, it's the next day and it's time to go out and do something else for somebody else in that negativity pit, and then you're drained again. So what I would say to you is your priority should be your spirit, your energy, keeping it strong and high. And if you're in an environment that's sucking that from you, you need to re-examine that, because part of success is joy and happiness and feeling like you made a difference. And if every time you go into your work or the environment you go into is negative, you're not feeling used or successful, you're not feeling like you're of service in that environment, you're just feeling drained, re-examine it, because God doesn't want that for you. That is not success. Success is living the life of your dreams. So please, if you're in that environment, that type of environment, remove yourself. If you're around those people, remove them. Find a higher vibration and energy person to be around so that you can continue to succeed and be a blessing to the other high vibration and energy people around you.
It's funny that you're talking about the people around you, Tamia, because if you look at actually all of the successful people in their lives, they've had company of people that would always drain them out. And once they cut these people out of their life, they boom and they rocket to their success, right? It happens in relationships, it happens with friendships, it happens even with parents, right? And you are constantly drained by that. And I love that you mentioned that, because I was thinking about it when you were talking, and so many successful people, they just decided to cut off these people from their life. And within an instant, that life of theirs has been shaped into that successful life that they've wanted. I love that. Thanks, Tamia.
Yes, Kamal. And it's so interesting that you say that, because if you think about the top performers, the top speakers, even myself, Nomsa and Kamal, we were attracted through a speaking, kind of like speakers who know speakers kind of thing. So we ended up being together, attracted to one another's energy, and then we served the world together. I mean, let me give you bigger names, because we're big names, but let me give you bigger names. What about Tony Robbins? Dean Gracioso, Brendan Bouchard, all of these people. And what's so interesting about it is you'll see them on stage, Les Brown, you'll see them on stage together. You'll see them at conferences together. You see them offline together, like hanging out and going, traveling together and things such as that. They are attracted to each other's energy, and they're not competitive. They know that, right? They know that the people that are going to be attracted to them are going to be attracted to them. So Tony's not trying to take Dean's people, and Les is not trying to take, whoever else, you know what I'm saying? They just know that nature will naturally have people attracted to you that resonate with you, or resonate with Kamal, or resonate with Nomsa, or some of the other people on our team. So we don't have to compete with one another. We just present who we are, and who is going to be attracted to us will be.
Exactly.
I was watching the audio today and listening to it yesterday. Danny Penas, he says, "Show me your friends, I'll show you the future."
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're basically saying exactly what you and Tamia has just said. Basically, he says, if you want to be successful and you're asking me advice, how can I be successful? First, show me your friends, or show me your tribe. Then I will tell you how you need to go about it. So if you're hanging out with people that just want to go for coffee and talk about feeling sorry club, then you're not gonna succeed. So which is the club that I was in. I used to be in that club where I just go for coffee with my friends. And after I go for coffee, they tell me about their troubles. I tell them about their troubles. They feel sorry for me, and I feel sorry for them. And then everything is okay. I go to bed and I go to sleep. So it happened for a few months, until I realized this is not me. I don't want to be like this. When you divorce, things go wrong, and you start hanging out with people. They're feeling sorry for you. Everything is gonna be okay. Nomsa, he should not have done this to you. That's bad. That's bad. And actually, it didn't do anything for me. It just didn't work out. So thank you so much, Tamia and Kamal, for actually saying to our audience, you out there, if they want to be successful, sometimes you're gonna have to piss some people off. You're gonna have to leave some people behind, which is good, because if those people, I always say, if someone is meant to be for me, is put by God, they will follow me, because they will see what I do and they'll follow me later. But at the meantime, if there is something that I need to chase, I've got to go. So thank you so much. I'm going to ask you questions. Are you, Kamal, are you extrovert or introvert?
That's a funny thing, because I've always been asked that question. Actually, I've been asked that question a lot in this, like, since I turned about 30, 35. And what I like to say is that I'm an extroverted introvert, because I in my heart and how I used to be, I was an introvert. And it took me a while to understand that being an extrovert is not something wrong or bad. However, as much of an introvert I was, like I was a geek and I was a nerd and building my computers and into comics and anime, but on top of that, I actually played a lot of sports and I was very sportive. So that kind of being bullied as a child, that's a nerd, it didn't happen to me because I was still playing the sports and I was still doing my work at school, but I was still an introvert. So when they came to parties and going into parties or going out, I would rather stay at home and I would build my computer or make friends online and chat with different people. But I always knew that I could stand on stage and talk, because I was one of always the first ones to come up in class and recite a poem and have a presentation about, now the word is stuck in French in my head, to have a presentation about something, let's say World War II or World War I, or about ancient history, right? So I would always be the one that would go forward and speak up. I wasn't ashamed, and I would ask questions to anybody. I was never scared of that. But in my heart, in the beginning, I was always that introvert. And then I started traveling the world. Luckily, I joined Emirates Airways. I have to mention them because they changed my view on a lot of things. I met different people from around the world, and my extrovertedness came out, if that's even a word. And it expressed itself in the passions that I have in life, in talking to different people, in meeting different cultures, in understanding their way of thinking and communicating with them the way that they understand it, not my way. And here I am. I opened my karate school, which obviously I'm on stage. I'm training like 50 kids and then another 10 grown-ups, right? So I'm on stage. I'm here with you guys like twice a week at least. I do my own events like once a month. So I have become an extrovert. So short answer, that's why I say I'm an introverted extrovert.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamal. Over to you, Tamia. Are you an introvert or extrovert?
I am a extrovert. I am an extrovert that needs to recharge, though, quite often, because as extroverts, we expend so much energy. Since we were talking about energy, we expend so much energy because we are on stage, whether we are physically on a stage or on a talk show like this, or in conversations with people. For me, I'm a super animated person. I put my energy into conversations, interactions, those kind of things as an extrovert. So then what ends up happening is when it comes time for me to I call it shut down, right? Power down for the day, then I become an introvert. It's like I've given out so much energy. As a police officer, I would be serving people literally, from the beginning of the shift to the end of the shift. We work 10-hour shifts. So you're responding to people's calls and their needs and making stops. And so it's a lot of extroverted activity because you are the person who initiates a lot of the activity as a police officer when you're investigating, and asking questions and these kind of things. So it involves a lot of energy. And yes, we can have officers who are introverts that turn their extroverts on when they go to work and then turn it off. For the most part, quite a few, and probably the vast majority, are type A personalities that are extroverts. I am blessed because I like the way Kamal gave us a little bit of his history. My background is I was a corporate brat. And what that means is my dad traveled every 2 years with his promotion. So you hear military brat, they move every 2 years with their parents, move, promotions and such. Well, as a corporate brat, my father was a professional salesperson. He does training. I mean, my father is passed, but I'm so much like my father. It's uncanny. People to this day will say, "Oh my gosh, you're like so much like your dad," and things that I do. But that caused me to have to make friends quickly. And because I would be the new kid on the block, my sisters and brothers and I would be the new kid on the block, and with me being a middle child too. So what is it? Birth order does matter, folks. Me being a middle child too, I needed attention because, the older or the younger were getting the attention and I was the middle child. So being extroverted helped me be able to be seen in my own right, as the middle child. So it is interesting when you look at how you've come up and how that affects who you become, because that had a lot to do with why I'm so extroverted, why I am the champion of causes. I am the person who will speak up for those who will not speak up for themselves, even if it's an issue that's not affecting me, but I see that it's affecting them, so for me to be a huge advocate of domestic violence, behind me, I have the, Love is Not Abuse behind me. I've made several films that dealt with issues of domestic violence, sex trafficking, things such as that, because I'm speaking for the people who have no voice. Right. So that is part of my extroversion. I want to use it for good. I want to use my powers for good. Right. To educate people and hopefully save people and encourage people to come out of situations that are not helpful to them. Just like we're talking about today. Are you around people who are sapping you or taking your energy away? And what if it's in a love relationship? Right. We just finished with Valentine's Day, the love relationship. Did you receive love? Are you in an abusive relationship where maybe you received a hit because you asked, did you get me anything, sweetie? Do I have anything? Do you think you deserve, and it could have been a whole explosive environment. So we just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And me as an extrovert, my goal is to help those. If I see someone in need or I know someone's in need, as the extroverted part of me, I want to help. I want to figure out how I can help. And I want to put some words in some knowledge in their little bag, so they know that they have it, their resources, that they can get out, that there is help. And it's so interesting that I've gone to this from talking about being an extrovert, but it's one of my causes. Like I'm sure Kamal has a cause and Nomsa has a cause, but my cause is for the safety of people who are vulnerable. Women, children, men also get abused. They need a voice and someone to tell them that there is hope out there. So I, as my extroverted self, am saying to you, there is hope. Get the negativity from around you and find a good environment, because you're worthy of love. And love is out there for you. When you get rid of the negative influence, please do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tamia and Kamal. I'm a silent person. I'm very painful when it comes to silent. I was listening to one of the audios, this guy, Danny, when he was saying silence people are successful. And I just listened to myself and I was like, I'm really terrible. When I give people, when I have a dream, I don't speak about that dream. Basically, I keep it silence in a painful way. And when I come out, my mom goes, "What now?" So now my family, they just go, "Okay, Nomsa, congratulations." Even when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, because my father passed away, and then I fell pregnant with my oldest daughter, and my mom kept annoying me every day. When are we going to have a grandchild? And I was like, this one, let me keep a lesson. Then I teach a lesson. Then I send a picture when her granddaughter was born, and I was like, here's your granddaughter. And she was like, oh my God. And I cannot believe the excitement, how happy she was. I'm terrible, Tamia and Kamal, when it comes to, so I think it's something that you're going to have to get used to it, because I see people when I finish Nkosi Talk Show, they try to pick my brain. Where do you want to take Nkosi Talk Show? Where do you want to do this? I'm like, I just tell them the little bit things. I think me bringing Reality 7 on Wednesday, it shows that this is where I need to go. This is what I need to do with my life. So sometimes the people will start picking, and I was also listening, I thought about you, Tamia, and I thought about you, Kamal, that this guy who was saying successful people, they are all into martial arts. They want to focus. They all have a military background. He was just describing everything, the things that I have in my Nkositalkshows Talk Show, and I actually felt proud that I hope you guys stay with me, because now I know that I have the right people with me. I have the right people that will stay focused regardless of what. Because he was saying, when someone wants to be successful, they focus on one thing. When they enter something, they focus on that. Even if it's sweat, they sweat until they get to where they need to go. So I was like, oh, martial arts is Kamal sports. Kamal, I'm into sports, and Tamia, she's in a military background and police background. So I'm blessed. I feel blessed to have you guys. So thank you so much. So how can you become a great communicator? Kamal, please.
A great communicator. Well, in NLP, we say communication is the response that you get, right? And the idea behind that is that the communication starts with what you want to deliver. And in NLP, we say there are 3 different types of communicators. We have visual communicators, we have auditory communicators, and we have kinesthetic communicators. I'll speak about those very shortly to explain it. Visual communicators, they use their visual senses. They use, I see what you're talking about. I can see this in my future. The colors are the colors of that. I don't know, painting. I don't like how it looks like, right? So the vocabulary that they mainly use is based on their visual, is a visual vocabulary. Auditory people, they will use sound. I don't like how this sounds. Did you hear it has a terrible bell in my ear, you know, all of these sound vocabulary. The kinesthetic people will talk about their feelings mostly. I don't feel that this is appropriate. I feel that you're hurting me, etc., etc. And everything that is related to feelings and emotions. Now, if one discovers what is their preferred method of communication, we don't necessarily have one of them, but we have a preferred set, and we can have a combination of 2, right? So I know for a fact I'm a visual kinesthetic person. I talk a lot about what I see, and I talk a lot about how I feel, right? And this is how I communicate most of the time. Now, if I'm talking to somebody like my father, who is very, very auditory, he's a sound engineer on top of that, right? So it makes it even worse. I need to change the method that I speak in order for him to understand me better. Because if I tell him, do you see how you're talking to me? He's going to say, no, I don't see how I'm talking to you. How I hear myself talking to you in a very normal way. And then we have a clash, because he's responding to me in a way that I don't understand. I would say, no, it doesn't sound like that. I can see the way you're talking to me. Now, if I want to change my understanding, I need to understand how a person in front of me talks, how they communicate. So if you learn the method that the people in front of you communicate, what their preferred method of communication is, of course, it takes practice and it takes some time, right? You can catch it bit by bit in a very short conversation. But you do that. That is one of the techniques, the greatest techniques of communicating your information to reach a person's mind, for them to understand it. because you would have the capability of understanding them based on their vocabulary, but they don't know how you talk. They only understand themselves, right? It's all in their head. So that's one of the greatest tools that I use when it comes to communicating. And of course, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So you can just do the same gestures, move like them. You don't have to mimic them, but you move like them. If they lean in, you lean in. They lean back. They take a side, right? And just do it very in a subtle way. This makes people get attracted to you, and it's not fake. It's not fake. It's all based on your moral ethics, what you want to do with that, right? If you want to be a better communicator, learn these tricks. Learn how people listen to people very carefully. Everything you need to know is in whatever people say and how they say it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kamal, for saying if you want to be a great communicator, you have to be authentic. I know that myself, that if someone is talking to me and they're not being authentic, I can feel it. I can feel their energy as well. So thank you so much for that. Tamia, Kamal has just said you need to be authentic. For you to be a great communicator, you have to be authentic. You have to be real. You have to speak from the heart. You have to speak the truth. Basically, the things you don't like that's what successful people do. They don't like to hang out with you. They're not going to lie to you, because if they feel that you're holding them back, so they're just like, no, I don't want to be here. They're out. So how can you be a good observer, Tamia?
Did you say observer?
Yes.
Okay,
You
so
have to be a great observer. You have to create, to be successful, you have to create a habit of being a good observer. So if you actually know that you are not a good observer, because there are some people that talk, they never listen. So how can you be a good observer and be aware of what is going on around you?
well, Stephen Covey said it best. He said, first seek to understand and then look to be understood. And part of understanding is to listen. And part of understanding is what Kamal said when he talked about mirroring, modeling the person. It's called rapport. It's called building rapport. So when you first begin to have a conversation with someone, you immediately look, do they use their hands? You know, is the person kind of like this, and I need to bring their focus into here. Listen, and when you're listening as part of an observer, you need to feedback what they said. So if I know that you were listening, then I should be able to say something like I just said with Kamal, talking about mirroring the person and the importance of communication and these kind of things, that he spoke about the different ways that people listen and learn. You know, there's a process, it's fairly new, but it's like the DISC process, which I don't even remember what all the words, what is it? The letters stand for DISC, but the one I'm going to talk about is called BANK. You know, and when you figure out from listening to the person talking, because this is part of observation, because if you're listening, you're observing that person, and observance is really important, and it's really also a part of our top topic today, which is about being silent. Right? We can't listen to somebody to see how we're going to respond. We need to listen to understand, you know, and so that means that you may not be right away when they finish that last word out of their mouth, jumping in and saying something. You have to listen and then be silent for a moment and be prepared to say, so what I hear you saying is, because what did you just say? I'm listening. What I hear you saying is, and when you say that, you're also saying to that person, is that right? Is that what you meant? So now that's another bit of rapport and care for that person, that you are observing them, listening to them, and giving them feedback as to what you thought they said. Because no, that's not what I mean. Maybe I'm not clear. And then the person will say it again, right? But yet what they will remember is, you were listening intently enough and cared enough to say, this is what I thought I heard you say. Is this what you said? Because miscommunication can destroy so many relationships. Well, he said this, this, and this, and this, and this is how I took it, and blah, blah, blah. You know, and now you have a friendship or, you know, a business relationship destroyed because you didn't take that time to just make sure that you truly understood what that person was attempting to communicate to you. Same with when you're doing meetings, you know, and you may be the leader or you may be in the meeting. Don't be afraid to raise your hand and say, so, sir, what I'm understanding is that you're saying blah, 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 blah. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Is that what the rest of you guys are getting? Let me make it clearer, right? Because in order for a person to feel empowered and successful, they have to understand the mission, right? So if the leader is casting the vision and the mission and people aren't getting it, then that's not a successful communication. So we should really work and give feedback to one another. But let me briefly tell you about bank and why that is important, because you need to understand the person you're speaking with, right? So you look at, on top of what Kamal shared, with figure out if they're auditory or if they're kinesthetic, you know, or if they're visual, you know, and that goes by the words that come out of their mouth, which was a perfect example, Kamal. So now you hear them talking to you and they're using words like, I see this, I totally understand it, this is how I feel, like he said. Then check the personality, because how people follow you has to do with their personality, and bank describes a personality. Now, B stands for blueprint, and I'm generally a blueprint because of where I come from. That's military people, that's, you know, police people. They want their stuff in order. They want you on time, in order, clearly explained. So if they walk away from this, they understand what to go do, right? That's a blueprint person, right? But then there's an A person, that's an action person. Do not tell me all this information. Tell me where we're going, who we're going to be hanging out with, what we're going to be doing, because I'm all about action, you know, and this person is probably going to be dressed, you know, with flowers or, you know, very flamboyant. They're the brave men that wear the colored suits, you know, that kind of stuff. That's an action person because we know that's a brave step, right? The B person is going to be in all blue or all navy or all very regimented, very military looking there. You know, you know them when you see them, right? Then you have the nurturer. That's N. Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, tell me about your kids. Oh, can you, where are you from? They want to hug you. They want to touch you. They don't want to have a conversation with you until you've connected with them, until you let them know that they are an important part of your life and that you appreciate who they are. Because if you did a blueprint on them, they're going to shut down on you. Oh, that person is so cold. Why weren't they? Oh, they could have been kinder. They could have said it nicer. That's a nurturer. Okay. They're your go-to people when you need someone comforted or you need something done. They will figure out how to do it. Nurturers always, they're the family people. Think of mom. Okay. And then you have I'm sorry, because we just said kinesthetic. Then you have the knowledge person. So K is for knowledge. They don't want to hear any other fluff. They're not excited about, you know, Tony Robbins being there and all this kind of stuff. They want to know, what am I going to learn? Scientifically, how is it going to benefit me? Send me the link because I want to look at it and make sure it's something I want to do, you know, and they are the people who do not make snap decisions. They want all the information and then they will be on board with you. So do you see how knowing those 4 different personalities could really help you? If you go to a nurturer and start with a blueprint, you lost them. If you go to a blueprint and start with a action, you lost them. If you go to a knowledge person and start with an action, you definitely lost them. They're not into all of that. If you go to an action person with knowledge, they're going to fall asleep on you. They're bored. The action person is the one that signs up for your program first. Oh, we're going to do this and be with Tony Robbins. And okay, I'm in. And they're at the back table signing up, right? You didn't have to finish talking. They don't even read the sheet. Just tell me where the link is so I can be there, or tell me where the location is and I'm booking my flights, right? You know, so think about how important that is for you to observe, because these are behaviors that and tech, like things, characteristics that you can observe to help you better communicate with that person. And the goal in life is to have rapport and be able to communicate with people. So take a few of those tips with you and just you jot them down. You can Google the bank code. It's called the bank code, and it'll give you a little bit further on it. But once you learn and understand that, I tell you what, all of your interactions, whether it's sales or anything like that, will go up because you will be speaking to that person in their language. Check it out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tamia. I'm a person who likes to get to know someone properly before I work with that person, because I need to observe if this relationship is just temporal or is it a long-term relationship. I don't like people to work with people that just want to check things out. I like somebody that wants to say, basically, I'm all in. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know what makes you cry, what things, why do you believe the things that you believe? And I want to know what's in for me as well. If I'm entering this, what am I going to get out of it? Because it's not about me. So I am that kind of a person. When you come to me, you become my family, and I build that proper relationship with you. But then when you are somebody, I always freak out when somebody comes to me, they're like, then I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, I want to calm down. I'm not that kind of a person. I want to calm down. I want to get to know you properly and see where this thing is going. I want to.
Yeah, you are.
Down. I want to.
I'm sorry. You are a nurturer by nature, and what is unique is as you build your team, you have a lot of nurturers in your team. You also have some action people, but nurturers seems to be the lead for most, especially for coaches. Coaches tend to be nurturers, with maybe a second of blueprint because they, you got to line stuff up for your for your clients. But it's good to have when you're building a team, to have each one of those, because you could see how each one of those people could really contribute to your team. Your knowledge person can sit back and be the one, you may even take them as a naysayer per se, but the knowledge person can help direct better. And say, did you ever think about this? Because your action person is like, no, I didn't think about that. I'm on my way. And you as a nurturer, you're like, this is my family. I really want everybody in. We want this to work, and your blueprint person is the one that goes step by step. So you see how you as a nurturer gathering all of these people together help you have a super successful team.
So come on, what are you? I like to hear.
I am a nurturer by nature. I'm very much a nurturer, but I also think I do have a bit of a knowledge part because I can't jump into things without learning. I love learning. I love knowing stuff. And I would definitely be the last one to sign up on a sheet. It was like, oh, I don't know who. The only one that I know, if he is in town, I would go crazy, is Sadhguru. I really respect and appreciate and respect and love that guy. But apart from that, I take my time. I read a little bit. I see if it feels right for me. See, it's always about my feelings, my inner emotions. So yeah, I am mostly a nurture person.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamau. For those who are watching our talk show today, on Wednesday, we have a reality 7. There is the gospel a cappella singers from South Africa, and they are based in KwaZulu-Natal. So please, if you love gospel, if you love these guys, they're not gonna be singing for us this time because of coronavirus. We're just gonna be getting to know them, and hopefully they're gonna work with Nkositalkshows in the long run. So if you love gospel music, if you are a Christian, you want to connect with the other Christians, please join us with Nkositalkshows Reality 7. They'll be in the house with Tamia, Nadia, and me. I don't know if anyone is going to join us from Nkositalkshows. I have no idea, but all I know is we're going to be having fun with the Reality 7, 1 p.m. UK time. Please join us. And thank you so much to Kamau, and thank you so much to Tamia, and those who are watching our talk show, is there anything you would like to leave with our audience, Kamal?
Find success within your silence alone first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Over to you, Tamia. Anything you would like to leave with our audience?
Silence is so important. When you are calm and silent and still within yourself, that is when God, the universe, speaks to you. And that is when you build up your inner man to go out and be successful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tamia. Silence, if you have a dream and you know where you want to go, get a coach, be silent. Don't talk about it. Let people see that dream coming to reality. That will be you speaking to your friends, to your family. We have all coaches from all walks of life in Nkositalkshows. Please, if you have a dream and you feel like you want to take your dream to the next level, get in touch with our coaches, and please share our videos. You can watch us on YouTube and watch us on Facebook. And hopefully we are on Instagram. We have to check when we finish here if we are on Instagram. If we are not, eventually we are on Instagram. Even tomorrow, I'm going to keep trying. Hopefully it says we're on, so we are on. So thank you so much, everyone who are watching. Live with grace, everyone, and God bless you.
God bless you.
Bless you, everyone. Thank you.